Welcome back to another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show, Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. I'm your host, Damon K. Jones, joined by my brother, AJ Woodson, and bringing that fresh perspective, Larnez Kinsey. Every Sunday, we pull back the curtain on the issues shaping our families, our cities, and our future, from health and safety to policy and power. It's because our mission is simple. Put the people first, not the politics. It's going to be Blacktastic. Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester Magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaigns, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Got a sweet tooth? Come to Cupcake Cutie Boutique in Mount Vernon, where every day is a reason to celebrate. Fresh homemade cupcakes baked with love. Stop by 8 South 6th Avenue and taste the cuteness today.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings, everybody. And I hope everybody that is watching this is having a Blacktastic Sunday. And if you're watching in New York, you know, it was nice outside. They had the Heavy D Day. They had the Heavy D Day in Mount Vernon. And they also had at the Dam, the African American Festival. Now that I don't live in Westchester, I'm kind of out of the loop of some of the festivals that's going on. And but historically, it's always been nice. And our sister Larnez Kinsey, she was out there, and I'd like to welcome everybody to the show. We're gonna have an interesting conversation today. Those that have followed Black Westchester, the People Before Politics shows and different shows and the articles, the results in New York of the primary and most of the hoopla and the conversation around the Democratic Socialist movement in New York. I've warned modern Democrats and Black Democrats. You could go back to the shows. I have I'm having a part 2 series about the Democrat Socialists of America and what are the benefits for Black people. Like I don't want to hear none of this we all under umbrella talk. I don't want to hear none of that. I want to hear them benefits for Black people from education, from family, from entrepreneurship, from building Black institutions, keeping Black communities safe. Not just, we want to stop police brutality, because we got Black elected officials in there now, from mayors, and we got Black police commissioners, and none of them seem to be able to stop police brutality, or they just seem, it seems like they're just managing the government that we see today. So what is so special about the Democratic Socialist movement that Black people should be excited? Or is it just another face Another white face in the place, selling dreams. That's the question. That's the question that Black people need to have, especially in New York. Especially in New York. For those families that can't move south and get out of the foolishness. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Because if the original agenda for Democrats, the historical agenda that Black people vote 90% for one party, we're the only ethnic group that votes over 40% for one party. We vote 90% for one party. And we have the least amount of power. From Asians to Hispanics to Italians, white folks, they all hover around 40% for one party. And then everybody else go wherever they go, but Black people are the only ones that are 90% for one party. And then we use the excuse that, oh, well, the other party's racist. Well, I've been living on this planet for 58 years. And let me tell you, both parties are racist. Both parties are racist. We don't control the Democratic Party. We just vote because they tell us the other side is racist. Exactly. A powerless super minority. Absolutely. So I want to take a look because we have to have that question. See, because all the Black folks, Al Sharpton and all these Negroes jumped on the Mamdani bandwagon. Yes, they did. They jumped on the Mamdani bandwagon. I went up to, and I'm going to go deeper in this on the publisher's desk with part 1 and part 2 about the Civil War and but we're just having conversations. I went to the Black and Latino caucus. They have it every February for some reason on Valentine's Day weekend. I really don't understand why they do that. On Valentine's Day, on the day you should be having lovey-doveys with your significant other, they're having a conference. Well, anyway, you would have thought that Mamdani was Jesus Christ, the way these Negroes surrounded him. You couldn't, it was so packed, you couldn't even get into the theater that they had when he was on the panel. They treated him like he was the savior of Black people. Yes, they did. I was there. And I was like, wow, this guy haven't said anything about empowering Black communities in the 5 boroughs. He didn't say nothing. But they fell in love with him. Now look at him. Now look at him. Now these same black elected officials are panicking. Because number one, he's showing the black New York elected that he doesn't need them. And then the fact that Al Sharpton, Tish James, other black elected officials stood by him in the beginning and gave him the legitimacy to get black votes in the primary over Andrew Cuomo and Eric Adams. These black elected officials stood with Mamdani. Al Sharpton brought Mamdani down to Wall Street to protest what they were calling racism in Wall Street. Which I didn't understand that because not even 30% of black people actually buy stock. That's not Wall Street's fault. Right? That's black people not being taught how to invest in stocks so they can have some type of generational wealth. But on the area that they were marching is the graves of our ancestors, Black Americans. It's a graveyard that they found down in Wall Street, where we worked from can't see morning to can't see night, building New York. There's no hear about no damn immigrant built New York. Black slaves built New York. And he was down there with Al Sharpton marching on Wall Street, where our ancestors was laying that built this damn city. And the Negro had the nerve when he got elected, Mamdani, and stood and said, immigrants built the city. No damn immigrants built New York City. It was black slaves. Black slaves, let's get it right. When are black people in New York going to get some damn backbone? And nobody publicly corrected him, not even Al Sharpton. So when the grassroots started talking, he went on some weak podcast and tried to explain himself. Black folks don't really have power in his administration. His agenda is not for black people. Now, I know some people that are appointed in his administration. I'm not mad at them for getting jobs. Some people should be where they were positioned. But at the end of the day, the agenda is not for us. He made it clear in his acceptance speech who he was there for. So they stood around him. He was hot. He was the hot sauce. And what did he turn around doing? He posted up 3 candidates this primary. And the biggest win was Lisa Alvila Chevalier when she defeated Adriano Espinal, a seasoned veteran Latino. But all three that he supported, they won. And then there's a video of the Democratic Socialists election night screaming to our man Hakeem Jeffries, who's another failed black politician, I said it, that he was next. So now they know that no black politician is safe. Recently this week, even Tish James came out. It was on the Hill. I did an article on it for Black Westchester, and I'm doing a deeper video into Tish James and who she is, and why black people in New York need to be cautious of a lot of these black politicians. She's nervous because what Mamdani did was so great. He had these Negroes fooled that he was for them. And they gave him the legitimacy to get some of the middle of the road Democrats. And now he's going to solidify the 5 boroughs under democratic socialism. And then when you solidify the 5 boroughs, you solidify political power in the state of New York because of the population size to the rest of the state. So now Tish James is scared for her job. Tish James is scared for her job. Tish James is scared for her job. That's what's actually going on. So now there's a civil war in the state of New York. There's a civil war in the state of New York. But the question I have for black people in New York and the greater black people for Black America, where do we fit in? Where do black people fit in? Who is fighting for us? Have we made measurable gains under the old democratic system? Huh? How do our communities look? How does our educational system look? How is our family structure under the old education, under the old regime of the Democrats? And I'm not knocking any Democrat. I'm just asking a question because let me tell you something. Information is information. Good or bad is still information, right? Well, yeah. Well, I mean, she's going to have to deal with that. That might be karma for what she did. We don't know. But how does what does they exactly? Exactly. Thank you for commenting. Exactly. But here's the problem. This generation don't even know who Dr. Amos Wilson is. This generation has even never read the blueprint for Black Power. They have no clue because they want free stuff. That's what they want. They want free stuff, and we know the old saying, free ain't free. Freedom is not free. Nothing is free, and especially freedom, you're gonna have to pay some type of price and sacrifice for freedom. See, they're teaching everything should be free. They don't even want land ownership. The Democratic Socialists, they don't even want land ownership. Well, I mean, yes, and no. Well, this generation. Oh, really? Oh man. You try to turn it down. Thank you. Hope that's better. Hope that's better. I tried to turn it down. It acts like that sometimes. Thank you. Okay. This this generation has been misled. And it's really being misled by social media. Okay, thank you. And it's really been misled. It's really been misled by social media. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. It's really been misled by social media, brothers and sisters. We got a lot of these podcasters that don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. Some of them don't even have the lived experience to have the type of conversation that they're having. But as long as they get likes and clicks, they make them legitimate. And that's how they get on a lot of these shows. Like they wouldn't put me on the show because they say, oh man, Black Westchester only has 20,000 followers. Even though I wrote 12 books, I have 33 years experience in law enforcement, and I have over 30 years in fighting for my people from the ground. But I wouldn't get put on there because I only got 20,000 followers. So they'll put somebody on there that has 1 million followers and don't know what the hell they're talking about. And that's how misinformation spreads. Unfortunately. Oh yeah. Roland Martin is a paid hitman. Yes. Many of these influencers are grifters. Yeah, and Carnon. Absolutely. 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 You know, I have never, and I could have, and I tell this story a long time ago. I could have sold out black people years ago, because where I was positioning myself in politics. But I chose not to. Because number one, I had a decent job and benefits. My wife had a decent job and benefits. Why would I sell my soul for more money? See, we make it about money. I had a conversation with a close friend of mine, and the discussion was this, brothers and sisters, because I said that the Breakfast Club, which was a good show, I said that they made a bad deal with Netflix because that deal has taken them off of YouTube, Rumble, and different platforms that people are. And my friend was like, yeah, but the money. He kept going back to the money. And I said, the money is not power. Money is not power. See, when you chase money, you lose power. And that's where black people are today. Because our leadership has been bought and sold. If we do not see it from this and really analyze it and see it from this entire man-dammy issue, right? Yep. That's it. And I've been looking for that quote from the House of Cards from the first season. He made a quote, something about money and power and the difference between money and real power. And it was a great quote, and I'm going to make a t-shirt out of it, because that's where we understand. But black people, we need power. We need an agenda. We need to learn to ask politicians questions and hold them accountable to those questions when they get elected. Like white people do. like the Jewish people do. Listen, you can't be mad at the Jews for having that much power, because they're organized and they're coordinated and they hold their elected officials accountable. You can't be mad at that. What did Elijah Muhammad say? He said, study the white man. He's successful and he makes no mistakes. He makes no excuses for his mistakes. That's what we have to do. They study us. They study black people to the T, till they know how to sell stuff to us. They study our habits. They study everything. We need to start studying them. And this is not racism. This is survival. Because in the next 30 years, if we don't have proper institutions, we are literally giving our children failure. We have to think about that. Right. And that's the same reason affirmative action was a failure. DEI was a failure. We went out here and boycotted, and I'm going to make it plain. And I did a video on this. We went out here and boycotted Target. And Target had most Target sold more black brands than Walmart. And what happened to those black brands when black folks said they wasn't shopping? They let the black brands go. We don't have a large distribution network. That our small black brands, our hair products, our facial products, our health products, can go to and be distributed throughout the nation? Black people, we don't have that. So we destroyed Black businesses in the process of fighting for DEI, a program that never benefited Black people. And I stand on that. And that's the sad part about it, brothers and sisters. We're working backwards as Black people. We are working backwards. And they got us caught up in racism. I lived in Mount Vernon, New York. How you gonna blame Republicans and Trump for the condition of Mount Vernon? Ain't been a white man there in 40 years running the city. Ain't one Republican on the city council. Ain't one Republican in the school board. The fail board, as I call it, because Black children are coming out there, they can't even read correctly or comprehend. How are we blaming a Republican? How are we blaming Donald Trump? How is a Black city with a Black mayor, a Black city council, you got one white person, and she's a Democrat, no Republicans in sight. The Department of Justice under Joe Biden came in and found that the Black mayor and the Black city council with the Black commissioner in the police department was violating Black people's rights. How do you explain it? You can't blame Trump. You can't blame Republicans. You can't even blame the white man. How do you explain it? We got the nerve to deflect. And we ain't even holding ourselves accountable, brothers and sisters. Yes, I would vote for a Black politician. But I will put my foot in his ass if he doesn't do right by the people, no matter what sect the politician is. It's not about your sex. It's about what you do with the power that the people gave you. We got to get it right. We have to get it right. And we're not. Because we're playing too many games with these Negroes. I said it in January. Pharaoh has let Black people go. And Pharaoh did. He let Black folks go. But we have almost $2 trillion in spending power a year, more than the country of Mexico. We spend on bullshit more than it takes Mexico to operate, the whole country. We buy bullshit, Mercedes Benzes and all this other craziness. We buy all that stuff. And we don't buy it from people that like us. And we buy it from people that do not like us. But then we get led in the wrong direction with these protest profiteers. Do you know that the Target boycott started in Minnesota, started over a Somali immigrant? Had nothing to do with Black people. Nothing to do with black people. A Somali immigrant. Really, it had nothing to do with DEI, according to the sister on Roland Martin. You can just look up Roland Martin and look up the target thing. According to her, it really had nothing to do with DEI. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And this is why I don't understand why they wouldn't give black folks reparations, because it will come right back to it. It will be the biggest economy boom ever. Black folks will go out there and take that money. They won't buy no land, and they will just buy a bunch of bullshit. Excuse my French. But it would be the biggest economy ever. And I really think Trump would do it if he wouldn't get pushed back from the MAGA. Yes, reparations should be more than money, but it has to start with a check. Nobody works for anybody for free. And black folks in the historic speaking, and you know, and that's another thing. We have to stop allowing these white liberals, and if you're a white person watching, it's not a jab, it's just reality. Y'all have to stop talking for us. Please, stop. Because some of you, what you're saying is stupid. You get on these little other white shows like AOC, go on all these other white podcasts, and you discuss our struggle like you understand it, and you have no clue. And it makes it hard for black people who actually lived through that struggle over the centuries in America to get other white folks that don't have, or other ethnic groups, period, to do that. And then you allow these redneck Negroes who love the white man more than they love themselves, don't even say that they're black, to say, see, we don't need reparations. All blacks ain't immigrants. They're not immigrants. And that FBA moved down south. No, listen. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, no, that's not true, man. Don't, sister, thanks. I've been wondering. No, FBA, if you want to call yourself FBA, that's Foundational Black Americans. That means the descendants of the slaves. I just say Black America, period. I just say Black America, because if you are a descendant of those slaves that are brought here, you're part of Black America. You're a part of the struggle. You were the ones that fought for the civil rights. You were the ones that fought for reparations. And let me understand, reparations was a Black Republican idea. Wrote an article on that. So you got these Black Republicans talking down reparations, the redneck blacks, that's what I call them, that talk down reparations without even understanding that reparations was a Republican idea. When they fought for reparations for the slaves to get benefits and they get pensions like the Civil War benefits. And they were Black people. They were Black Republicans, because remember, we were Republicans before we were Democrats. So reparations was a Black Republican idea. And I got the facts. Y'all just go good old blackwestchester.com and put it in the search. I wrote the article on it. So this is a great show, man. I wasn't going to come on, but I'm glad I did. I was going to work on the series. But I'm really glad that I came on this show. If anybody knows anybody in the DSA, I want them to come on the show. I really do. I want them to explain to Black people how the Democratic Socialists of America can benefit Black folks. You know, because on the cover it looks nice, but deep inside their policies, you know, they just, you know, Mamdani just did a rent freeze, right? Everybody's like, oh my God, he freezed the rent. But I mean, it's smoke and mirrors, brothers and sisters. It's smoke and mirrors. The rent freeze only covers, I think, 1 million apartments, if that. And it doesn't help the real needy of New York City, those that are in NYCHA. New York City is the biggest landlord because of the NYCHA buildings. And those, oh man, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And NYCHA is the biggest landlord. New York City government is the biggest landlord. And look at the housing that these people are living in. It is disgusting. And it seems like they could never get it right, no matter what mayor gets over there. These guys have been infiltrating Black organizations for years. Yep, the communists have been trying. Yep. Absolutely. Well, they got it now because it's not just Black people. They got the white folks, the liberals. And Malcolm warned us about the white liberal. Now, people that's watching, I ain't saying nothing racist. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm for anybody to have whatever they want, whatever God blessed them to pursue and advance, as long as you don't do it over me and my people. I ain't never scared of a racist or a bigot. I'm going to correct it, or a bigot. See, because a racist has power. A bigot, just a bigot. He just don't like Black folks. I ain't never scared of a bigot. But when you're trying to put power over me and what God has given me to pursue my purpose and my life, then we have a problem. Did he win? Did he win up in Syracuse? See, we haven't been taught the science of politics. Black people, we haven't, because we just want to fit in. We haven't thought to be independents. We all should be independent voters. Every Black person should be an independent voter. And then vote in a block. If you in your local, you in your town, become independents. Leave the Democratic Party alone and vote in a block. But Black people are scared to do that because they're afraid that they will be pushed out their little political circle and their little friend circle and their little that. I could have been the greatest thing since sliced bread in Westchester County, but I chose not to. I chose not to go that route and play that game. Because I was a man, damn it. I was a man that loved his community. And these Negroes wasn't going to sit here and tell me what to do, especially sell out your own people. And we have to stop saying vote blue no matter who. That's the most unintelligent thing anybody could ever say in their life. You having all these intelligent people with all these degrees, these high degrees, and they're going to come out their mouth and say, vote blue no matter who. How stupid is that? So if you're on the operating table, you're going to say, give me a sergeant no matter who. Give me the blue sergeant no matter who. So you're going to let anybody just cut you up and go into your body no matter who? If you're on a plane and they're missing the captain of the plane, you're going to say, just give me somebody no matter who? Huh? How do we have that thinking in 2026? How do we do that? As we're supposed to be advanced thinking people. My 6-year-old granddaughter won't even take nobody. She don't go with anybody no matter who they are. So why should we as adults? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But definitely, people, man, we're gonna have to change, man. God is trying to tell us something. He's trying to tell us to come out of her. And we have to start thinking for ourselves. Because right now, the Democratic Party that you knew is almost gone. That gave Black people a few positions here and a few positions there. That Democratic Party that you knew is almost gone. And they might do the same, or they might not, because they don't have to, because they got there without you. So the question we have to ask is, what are we going to do? What are Black people going to do? You know, it's to the point that even if you identify yourself as a foundational Black American, they look at you now as the radical. They look at us when we talk about Black people as the radical. But everything I've been saying and other foundational Black Americans been saying, or just people, you know, I don't identify, I just say Black American. It's just easy. You know, if you're a foundational Black American and you rocking, let's rock. If you agree with the same things that I'm agreeing with, let's rock. Because Black America, to me, just covers everybody. I'm talking about Black Americans. I'm talking about people from slavery. And this is not a nod. This is not nothing against, a Jamaican or Haitian or Cuban. Well, some Cubans don't even say they Black. So, it is what it is, right? And some Haitians don't even say they Black. Some Jamaicans don't even say they Black until they get in trouble. Then they holler they Black. And so does Cubans. And so does the dark-skinned Hispanics, right? So does the damn Africans, right? They telling us to go back to Africa. Let me tell you something on that. I ain't building a goddamn thing in Africa. This country here owe me some land, owe my people something, or you build a network and you buy your own land in America. What the hell are we going out to Africa for? And what happens if they just decide to take your land? What are you going to do? Now, we can do business. I get my land, I build my community, and I do business with Africa. But to go out there and buy land, and you ain't representing what? You ain't representing America. You ain't got no army. Right? You go out there, they take your land. You're gonna have to go talk to Donald Trump. At the end of the day, let me make it clear. America has a bunch of problems. It's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. But if you literally traveled the world, see, most of these Negroes that talking ain't never traveled. They never been nowhere. They never been anywhere. You travel the world, they got borders over there. They got customs. They got things you can't do in their goddamn country or you're going to get locked up. You're going to get locked up. Then you realize, well, America ain't perfect, but it's shown up better than a lot of these large majority of countries and how they live. Most of the people that talking about, oh, we over here living good. No, they went over there with a whole bunch of money. Trust me, when you look at the people that's talking, they're not average people. Don't get me wrong, some people went over there and they made it, but no, they went over there with money. But that still doesn't take away that they could just change their mind. And I don't know what everybody's talking about going to Ghana. Now, Ghana passed a law that, no, they don't even recognize homosexuality. You get locked up over there. You get locked up over in Ghana now. You mess around with that homosexuality, going out there with the flag and twirling and doing all that stuff. See what's going to happen to you in Ghana. I want to know because in December, every year in December, the last 2 weeks of December, they do this big festival out there in Ghana. All the entertainers be out there. I want to see how this is going to happen now that homosexuality is against the law. I want to see. I really want. I can't wait to see the numbers because we know how the entertainment industry get down. So I really want to see how they're going to treat that. Hey, y'all, man, I want to thank y'all for coming on the show. I want to thank everybody for coming on. And I want to thank Shay Mayo. Did I say it right? I want to thank her for the I want to thank her for the super chat. Jesus. I want to thank her for the super chat. It's appreciated. Thank you very, very, very much. If it's your first time watching, please like and share. Mondays, tomorrow, I got Meatless Mondays where we talk about health, wellness, and mental clarity. And the Publisher's Desk will be coming on at 8 o'clock. It'll be part 1. I'm doing a deeper dive into the whole DSA, Democratic Party. You know, I just wanted to come on and share my love with everybody and thank you. And just have this conversation. You know, my partner AJ and my partner Larnez, they couldn't make it for the show. So I just wanted to come on. I didn't want to miss a Sunday because we have to be consistent in what we do. So I didn't want to miss a Sunday. I missed the last one. Before I leave, I'm sorry. I just want to make a statement. Just give me, oh my God, just give me 1 minute. I have to upload something because I want to show it to y'all. I want to show it to my Black Westchester family. And then I want to make a comment on it. So right now, so if you're new to the show, you don't know. If you've been following the show, you know that we stood in support of a Mount Vernon police officer, Derek Williams. And he at that time was going to be terminated because of his sickness. He had kidney failure, and it was a result of COVID. And when he caught COVID, he was out for COVID for 30 days, and they paid him. And he went to request that his kidney failure, because it is known medical that COVID harmed organs, whether it's your lungs, your heart, your kidneys, right? And they denied him. And they pushed to fire him. They wanted to fire him. Well, they did push him out. So we really had a conversation, and this is one of the texts, or one of the comments from the Mount Vernon Mayor, Sean Patterson Howard, when we tried to help Derek. And she made another comment I'm not going to put up to Derek, and even question his family, bro. Like, this is why these Black politicians are insane, right? Hold on a second. Let me I'm gonna fill out my face a little bit on this one, because why is this like this? Hold on one second, family. I'm trying to fix it so I can get my face on this. All right. And I'm going to make it quick because I don't want to hold nobody up. So you see, went back to that. So you see what she says. Due process is him filing his paperwork. Due process is responding to the paperwork issued by the city. Due process is a law. Now check it out. I offered him a meeting in December so he could sit with me and administration, including HR, and walk through the process of filing the paperwork. His union and you all who claim to know what you're doing failed him. No paperwork for 2 years, no response to officials' letters and department, just a press conference. His union failed him. His so-called fans failed him. The city has followed the process. Screaming and posting and press conference are not paperwork, right? I love Negroism. Now, let me tell y'all. Now, she put it out. She said she claimed that if there wasn't any paperwork. So let me be clear, brothers and sisters. And I wanted to do this so I can cut this and address this video, but I want all y'all to listen and pay close attention to the nonsense. Now, this response of the mayor, Mayor Sean Patterson Howard, and I'm responding vocally to what she said. The due process of Officer Derek Williams has always been about more than private meetings, Miss Mayor. It's about the city applying New York General Municipal Law 207C and the COVID-19 off-duty presumptions, FMLA protections, the Americans with Disabilities Act, and the Affordable Care Act protections for first responders. None of these which were explained or offered to Derek Williams for nearly 2 years. Nearly 2 years, Officer Derek Williams sat home, 7 days on dialysis, and not one person from the city, the union, or the police department said anything. Now, she states that Mr. Williams never did any paperwork. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, brothers and sisters. Yes, he did. On January 8th, 2026, he submitted his MV5 line of duty injury report. The same day, Jesse Van Loo, an activist in the community, he was with Officer Williams. Not only was Jesse Van Loo with Officer Williams, Miss Mayor, so was your chief of staff, Malcolm Clark. So was a deputy commissioner. They all was in the building on January 8th, 2026, when he submitted the necessary paperwork. Officer Williams also made a formal complaint with the city council. Councilman Andre Wallace, the chairman of the Public Safety Committee, later reviewed the evidence that was brought to him and the city council. And he wrote a recommendation letter to you, Miss Mayor, to the controller, to the city lawyers, the legal department, to give this man a hearing. Now, in her post, brothers and sisters, you see what she wrote. Let me put it up again, because we're going to deal in we're going to deal in facts. She said she offered him a meeting in December so he could sit with me and the administration to walk through the process. He did the process without you. He didn't need you to do the process. Miss Mayor, the process was done on January 8th. You asked for a meeting with him in December. He went and did the process himself on January 8th. Not only did he do the paperwork, he resubmitted the paperwork to the city council, along with case law to support his position why he should have the hearing. So I don't know what you're talking about, Miss Mayor. You got to explain that, because it was done. Now, are we just working on personalities? Huh? I don't know. You have to tell me. And Andre Wallace, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. See, I keep it 100. I really keep it 100. And how do we know that he followed the process? I'm going to show y'all how we know he followed the process. Oh, shit. Hold on. This is how we know he followed the process, brothers and sisters, everybody that's watching. What does it say? After reading Dear Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson is the corporation counsel. He's the city lawyer. Dear Brian Johnson, after reading and reviewing the attached documents regarding federal and state laws, along with appellate court decisions, I recommending that the city of Mount Vernon affords Derek Williams his 207C hearing. So, Mayor, what process was you talking about? Madam Mayor, what process was you talking about? You come online and make accusations. What process were you talking about that Derek Williams didn't follow? Huh? You said in the ABC news, you said in the news that there wasn't no paperwork. How was Derek Williams out for 30 days? How was he out for 30 days and there wasn't no paperwork? He was out for 30 days during COVID. What was he out on? He got paid. Nobody wants to answer that question. Well, what policy was he out on? What was the classification did you have that he was out on if he was out for 30 days? You're telling me somebody can be out for 30 days and there is no paperwork on why he's out for 30 days in the city of Mount Vernon? Huh? How does that work? How does that work, Madam Mayor? Nobody told you that he was out for 30 days? So what was approved for him to be out for 30 days? They're giving you bad information. They really are. So what would it change meeting with you when the paperwork was done already? You had to know that he submitted the paperwork because your chief of staff was in the room. Your commissioner was in the room. Your deputy commissioner was in the room. And matter of fact, The lady that's the head of HR was in the room. The only one that wasn't in the room was you. So if your chief of staff was in the room, why didn't you just come over and be in the room too? You said he would have the meeting with HR. She was in the room. She was in the room. See, these are not any, this is not anything personal. We're talking procedural. Yes, the union did fail. Absolutely. But that doesn't, because the union failed, does not exonerate the city in following federal and state law. What are you talking about? Huh? And us as friends and cohorts, we didn't fail him. We exposed that the system in Mount Vernon is broken. And we exposed some other things, and I'm not going to get into today. Officer Derek Williams should have never had to rely on extraordinary grace from you or anybody else when he had protections of state and federal law. They were designed to provide that grace, not you. You just should have followed the law. The city failed to act. And even after City Councilman Andre Wallace sent a letter to you. This letter is in March 18, 2026. He sent a letter to you. And he's chair standing committee on public safety. That's what Andre's title is, ain't it? Well, I'll be damned. That's what his title is, Miss Mayor. And what did he say again? After reading and reviewing the attached documents regarding federal and state laws, along with the appellate court division, I am recommending that the city of Mount Vernon afford Derek Williams a 207C hearing. And look at the little CC there. Look at the little CC. It says Office of the Mayor. What else? Acting Commissioner, Chief Marcel Alafez, the Comptroller. All the city council people got this letter because all the city council people, they were there when we made the appeal to the city council. How did you not know about this letter, Miss Mayor? It was sent to you. How did you not know about his reports that he made on January 8th? Your chief of staff was there. Your deputy commissioner was there. Your commissioner was there. Even the same lady, the HR lady that you said that he was supposed to meet with you and her with, she was there. Where were you? Where were you? That's what we need to understand. Where were you? And I'm not attacking you. I'm responding to what you wrote. That's what you wrote. Mayor Sean Patterson Howard. That's what you wrote. I'm not making anything up. I'm just responding. It's not even personal. When you got facts, facts ain't never personal. When you don't have facts, that's when it's personal, when people don't have facts. But this was what you said. You do not, you Don, claim to know the process, but you pimped him out? The process was done. Huh? If the process wasn't done, we wouldn't have this letter. What did that say? City Council, Mount Vernon City Council. Okay. It's the same government. I want to make sure that it's the same government. You said the process wasn't done, but the paperwork was handed in on January 8th. Why did he have to sit with you? What was the purpose for Derek Williams sitting with you? There's nothing in New York State or federal law or 207C law that the officer requesting a 207C hearing has to meet with the mayor. So are you the reason it got denied? Because he didn't sit down and kiss your ring? All the paperwork was put in, Miss Mayor. You said it wasn't, but it was on January 8th. I will suggest you not post about this no more. That's my suggestion. You just leave it alone. Because you completely lied on that post. And my mother taught me, when you lie about the small things, you lying about the big things too. Exactly, Kwame. Exactly. What you did to this police officer is horrendous. And the sad thing is that every police officer in Mount Vernon should be shot, because it could happen to them. I agree with you, Miss Mayor. The PBA did fail him. I agree with you on that. And see, you just threw them under the bus again. Why? You just threw them under the bus. You threw everybody under the bus but the city of Mount Vernon, following state and federal laws. Come on, man. We got to do better. We have to be better. It would have took nothing to give him a hearing. Nothing. Give the man the hearing. Win or lose. Who said he would win? I said he would win because state and federal law and case law backs him up. And maybe you knew that. I don't know. But what was the problem of giving him a hearing? I don't understand. And you made the main thing you. You made it, you made the main thing you. So, you know, that's insane. So, you know, I mean, people, I'm trying to close out, but I need to, you know, it's just so insane. It's just so insane. And this is what, and you know what? And this is what she said to Derek himself. You have a lot to say. You have a lot to say on social media, but when given the opportunity to sit across the table and discuss the case, you, in capital letters, were a no-show. A no-show win. Not because you were sick, because you chose not to show. You refused to follow any directions and provide you with support to follow the process. He did follow the process, Miss Mayor. He handed in the paperwork. And you know he handed in the paperwork because your chief of staff was there. And then she makes it personal. Derek, I have known you, your entire family, from before you were born. Your parents, what bring his parents into this situation? Why would you do that? Nobody's bringing your family into it. Why do you bring his family into it? Again, you made a false statement and you brought his family into it when you should never have brought his family. See, that's the problem with y'all Negroes in Mount Vernon. You go after the family instead of standing tall on truth. You're doing the same damn thing Richard Thomas did, but with a little more perfume and niceness. But you're no different. When you bring people's family into something that has nothing to do with it, you should be ashamed of yourself. Yes, I am saying this. You got a problem with me, you deal with me. You bring my wife into it, it's going to be a problem. This is not Black leadership, y'all. We have to check this bullshit. Excuse my French. I don't like no bullies, no bully-ass politicians, male or female. My mother taught me to stand up to them. You like to claim the Bible, so do I. I'm not kissing your ass. I'm coming to you saying, thus say the Lord. I'm not like some of these weak ass politicians in Mount Vernon that want something from you. You can't do nothing for me. Or no other politician can do anything for me but do their job and represent Black people well. These are your posts, Madam Mayor. These are your posts. These are your attacks. These are your lies, saying that he didn't do any paperwork. If he didn't do the paperwork, he wouldn't have never got this goddamn letter from Andre Wallace. Y'all see it? Everybody sees it. You said he didn't do the necessary paperwork. He did all the paperwork he needed to do. So now what's your excuse? It seems like you just didn't want him to have the hearing. And you have the power to do it. That's the thing. You have the power to tell them over there because see, you know, management, they ain't got no backbone. They don't want to do the right thing because they scared. It's been that way in Mount Vernon for a long time. For a long time. That's why I just want my wife to retire. Call it a day. Put it behind her because it's just getting worse. It's just getting worse. And by God, I pray that she get the fuck out of there. Excuse my French. I'm trying to be a better person. So that's my comments, brothers and sisters, and I thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for watching. And I'm sorry, I'm very passionate about justice. And as you can see from her Facebook posts and to the facts, that we have a politician that's just not telling the truth. Yeah, they are other places. Well, yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, thank you. We gotta have truth. That's what the People Before Politics show is. That's what the Sunday Rundown is. Is we have to talk truth. Listen, I never claim. I say this every Monday on Meeting This Monday. I have never claimed that I am perfect. Because I know by God's eyes, I am perfectly imperfect. I'm not a perfect person. I never stressed to be. Never said I was. But what I am is a person for justice, freedom, justice, and equality. Well, I don't know if she's running again or not. And that's none of my business. And, you know, I really don't care whether she run again or not. My whole thing is, y'all did this brother wrong. And the city failed them. The police department failed them. Now the mayor is making statements that are untrue. And let me tell you how God works. Let me tell you how God works. Derek Williams just got a kidney. Just got a kidney, brothers and sisters. See how God works when you trust God more than you trust the government? And that's just not a lesson. That's a lesson for Black people. We are in the area that we have to trust God more than we trust the government. We have put too much trust in Black politicians. We have put too much trust in the Democratic Party. We have put too much trust in systems that don't work for us. We have put too much trust to Negroes in positions that do nothing for us. Nothing for us. We have to start putting trust in God, even when the pastors in the community put more trust in the government than they do in the God they claim to serve. Listen to what I'm saying. Derek put more trust in God. God gave him a kidney when the city failed him. When they refused to follow state and federal laws, and they made excuses. Then black people around them made excuses because they don't want to be looked at being outside of the circle. They don't want to stand up for what's right because they're scared they might lose overtime or lose a position or won't get promoted. Blah, 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 blah. Nigga shit. Yeah, I'm not perfect. I will use scripture and then follow it up with a curse now and then. It is what it is. If you don't like it, you ain't got to watch the show. I'm trying to do better. But right now, I'm still saying what I have to say. Right. One of my mentors, Bob Law, he said, some of the problems with black elected officials and black leadership, once they get into position, they feel they have to represent the institution and represent black people. And then overnight, they become the enemy of black progress. We can't do that. We can't accept that. Then look at the city. It speaks for itself. But my point is this. When you see a government that is not following a moral standard, it's not a government for you. I don't care what political party they are. And it should be more concerning if they're in the party that you claim. How do you get so torn up when the ones that you voted for are doing you dirty and all they got to do is mention Trump and you forget about all the dirt they did to you? I literally don't understand it. Somebody has to make it make sense. Because I don't know. I see my brother Jesse Van Loo, peace and blessings, Jesse. And, you know, for what she's saying, Jesse was there. He handed in the paperwork. We have a live witness that was there, right? And she said the man didn't do any paperwork. But you still have to listen, please. I've been on here for an hour and a half. I'm about to go because I got to go to the bathroom. And I don't want to just leave y'all looking at a screen. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, sister, that left the super chat. Thank you very much. I am humbled by that. But black folks got to wake up. We got to figure out what we're going to do with this democratic socialism stuff. And then people in Mount Vernon better wake the hell up. That's all I got to say. Thank you again. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay blacktastic. Peace out. Oh, I ain't even got my end screen. Jesus Christ. Well, we're going to rock out to this.
They taught us charity, never clarity. Now help the world while we suffer in the dark. Fighting for flags that don't feed our seeds, but can't build one school where our babies can read. We loud for the globe, but silent for home. No plumber, no coder, but a new iPhone. Our pain got turned to a marketing screen, march and scream. But but no policy team, red or blue. Man, they both play roles. One lock us up, one leave us broke with hopes. Democrat, Republican, ain't changed the hood. Just new faces, same games, misunderstood. We vote, they win, then forget we alive. They fund everybody, we just try and survive. Our issues trend only after we die. Ain't no savior coming, it's us or goodbye. So I buy black, build back, sow in the earth. Each brick I lay, I honor the hurt. My grandma prays for the day we be free, not just legally, but financially. Put the mask on first, then we lift the rest. If the block ain't strong, how we claim success? We ain't saviors, we survivors, building worth, time to love ourselves. Black America first, yeah, Black America first. Fix the house, fix the fam, let the blessings burst. Own the land, own the plan, put the people to work, no more mule moves, Black America first. We out of line, chasing likes, ignoring the home. It ain't fly if your daughter feel alone. We used to raise villages, now it's revenge, talking about my love, but we barely call friends. We gotta get back to black man and black queen, not war in the house, but a kingdom scene. Husband and wife, raise life with direction, not baby mamas and weekend connections. They broke us with policy, broke us with lies, made war between us, now we barely try. But if we don't rebuild that core in the house, the world outside gon' chew us out. I ain't anti nobody, I'm pro my kind. If our kids ain't safe, then I draw that line. Let them talk slick seat. We ain't here to please, we here to own, build, love, and plant trees. My son need a future, not survival mode. My daughter need a man that walk God's roads. So I lead with faith, work, and a plan. Black woman by my side, that's God's right hand. This ain't hate, this ain't fear, it's return to self. From trauma to triumph, from pain to wealth. We done saved the world, now it's time for us. No more back seats, we driving the bus. Put the mask on first, then we lift the rest. If the block ain't strong, how we claim success? We ain't saviors, we survivors, building worth, time to love ourselves. Black America first. Yeah, Black America first. Not a slogan, it's a blueprint carved in the dirt. No handouts, just hands up planted in work. Let them call us selfish. Black America first.